Hey, what's going on, Summoners? My name is Nathaning, and I'll be walking you guys through this week's weekly news update. There's a lot of great things that have recently been announced, including some awesome new skins. Whether it's to look back at the past events, item changes, crazy reworks, or even the smallest of changes overall, here at ProGuides, we've got you covered. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned until the end so you don't miss out on any important updates now and in the future. Nonetheless, let's hop right in. Starting off our weekly update, we've got to begin with everybody's favorite section. On the PvE, there's a few new skins that I'm sure that many of you will love. They feature two champions that haven't gotten a skin in a bit, and they're honestly really high quality. These are both Elderwood Gnar and Elderwood Rek'Sai. As it joined the Elderwood universe with the skin line, they feature all new visual effects, sound effects, models, textures, and recall animations. Both Rek'Sai and Gnar are said to be available for 1350 RP on release. Gnar's skin features a cute stone mask with a green accent. His Mega form only further enhances this by surrounding his arms and shoulders in a rock as well. As for Rek'Sai, her skin features a beautiful blend of purple and blue. These resemble the multiple flowers and wildlife that have been seen in the background of this universe. Plus, her tunnels look like magical plants. Don't worry, if you're not a fan of the current color palette, you can always change it. Both of these skins will come with 8 additional chromas that you can purchase on release. Each chroma changes the major color axis of each skins, and in Rek'Sai's case, it changes her tunnel's color as well. Unfortunately, there are no new icons at this time. Before we dive right into the PvE a little bit more, don't forget to check us out at ProGuides.com. This way you can go ahead and view our great catalog of challenger coaches that can personally create a walkthrough to your dream rank. You got a busy schedule? Well, don't worry about it because we've got you covered. Our trained roster of coaches are here 24/7 to help you reach your goal, whatever that may be. So what are you waiting for? Go check us out and make sure you get that victorious skin this season. Regardless, let's get back into the video and dive right into the rest of the PvE. The next skin that was announced on the PvE has nothing to do with Elderwood. It's actually in reference to Riot's highly new rated show, Arcane. This is going to be the amazing Firelight Echo skin. His skin features new visual effects, sound effects, models, textures, and a new recall animation. It features Echo's iconic outfit from the series and even gives you an additional 8 chromas that you can buy. This means that you can customize Echo to match your profile. On top of this, Riot has announced that they listened to the feedback and are going to edit the skin a little bit more. This will delay its release a little bit, but in exchange, Echo will have a hoverboard effect with home guards and will wear his mask. While there may be other updates later on, this is the most Riot has mentioned recently. Regardless, it's nice to see that they're listening to the community and adding things to the skins that just feel necessary. Hopefully, the extra time spent on them will be well worth it. Next up, we have a nice update for an older skin. For our League veterans out there, we know how awful Goth Annie looks. The skin thankfully looked decent in the game, but many people hated the splash art for it nonetheless. Even after some slight tweaks a while back, it still didn't improve. Well, Riot is here to give us a revamped version of Goth Annie's splash art. It not only looks far cleaner and vibrant, but adds a ton of character to the skin as well. You can see a ritualistic circle with the ghost-like timbers in the background. It finally captures what the skin really feels like. If you're trying to pick up the skin, you still can. It's available through a digital collector's bundle in the client shop. You can find it in the champion section under bundles. Last but certainly not least for our PvE skins, we got a new ward skin name. There isn't a ton of information on it yet, but it's referenced to the Forge God Ornn. It is labeled as such with Season 2022 after. There's a lot of speculation over what this may mean. Whether it's an event tied to Ornn or Volibear or just a new Ornn skin, it's still an interesting one to note. Oh, and one final thing. This wasn't mentioned on the PvE, but we finally have an idea of what the new season rank crests will look like. Riot has been hyping up how the client is getting revamped, and we finally get a closer look at the ranks. Each one features a small crown-like icon of your rank, a sleek border surrounding your icon and player card, and a massive crest at the bottom. While we're not sure how these may be implemented, it's still nice to see an update. Moving on to our next topic, we've got an article released by Riot talking about the recent Sentinels of Light event. This event felt very lackluster to many and led to an awkward storyline, interactions, and overall a little bit of an unsatisfied feeling. Of course, this wasn't completely on Riot, as real-world issues led them to having to push this back a ton. A prime example of this is the recent release of the Rune King game, which was supposed to come out before the event started to provide some context. Regardless, they have released an article in which they list a few things that they have learned from the event. Starting it off, let's talk about how events need to be accessible to regular players. Of course, some people really love a long and interactive storyline, especially when it comes to missions because it adds a nice reward at the end. However, Riot has been approaching this with far too much focus on the grind. Not all players can spend hours upon hours playing the game just to get through the basic part of an event. On top of that, it also influences lore during something like this since it's locked behind a progression wall. Riot said that they've realized this and are looking to change it by ensuring that all players can access content with casual play. And for all of you who did like to grind it out, there will be extra rewards and challenges for you as well. Next, we've got the concept of narrative and character tone not matching player expectations. quite a few people had many issues with the Sentinels of Light event when it came to characters. Not only did the character feel awkward at times due to your random faceless character appearing, but some champs simply weren't there. Many champions, Poppy being a prime example, failed to even make the slightest appearance in a story that would have been the center point for them. Or for example, how many players met Yorick and he guided them through the Shadow Isles and spoke of his resolve, and then we just never saw him again. Riot is looking to create storytelling that feels fluid and consistent while also attempting to add useful immersion. On top of this, they made it a key point not to bend champion characterization, which a few of you guys might like. Last but not least, we've got the key point that in-client visual novels have limitations. Riot feels that they have tried to force too much into the client and it led to worse results and a few annoying details. They said that they're going to continue to use them to add color and detail to the lore or simply give windows into the story. But overall, they're not looking to do a massive story in its entirety. While a few people may disagree with this, it's really important to note how many resources get put into an event like this. I think we can all agree that a massive event is fun, but having smaller events that are far more streamlined is probably much better. Overall, Riot is looking to prove that they're learning from that and they want to continue to create better content. In their own words, lore events in League of Legends are not dead. Now before we continue on with the video, don't think for a second that we have forgotten about everybody's favorite ProGuides tradition. For our question of the day today, we want to dive into the Sentinels of Light event and ask our wonderful viewers, what did you enjoy about it and what would you change? Personally, I thought the event was really cool, but it did seem like a big endeavor and also felt kinda grindy. Regardless, let us know your answers in the comments down below. Anyway, let's get back into the video and check out some stuff regarding the new missions. League missions have been a central point of progressing in the game. They provide you with the free ways of getting a few champions or skin shards. The amount of rewards that you get significantly increases if you purchase the event pass. And with this in mind, these missions are important, and Riot has decided to rework them for patch 11.24. Now, rather than getting objective-based missions, you get points based on game time and additional points for winning. There are also quite a few new details that are pretty cool and should add a better feeling of progression. Note that what we're talking about next will require the event pass. Milestone missions all aim to score 1275 objective points in order to unlock the reward. Afterward, you'll go into the next tier and can again complete it for another reward. This tier system goes up to 10 total, with the final prize being a gemstone and a debonair orb. Next up, we've got weekly wins, which are similar to missions. Your goal for completing these will be hitting 1650 objective points, so you can go ahead and move on to the next week. There are 4 weeks total and they feature some pretty nice prizes, with each one giving you 250 tokens. After this, we've got something called a token bank mission. This mission has the objective of earning 400 points through time spent playing and winning PvP match-made games. This means that you will have to queue up against other players to reap the rewards, which are 20 debonair tokens. You can repeat this mission as many times as you want and allows hardcore players to grind out a ton of tokens. Now let's dive into a few of the new missions that do not require a pass for our free-to-play gamers out there. There are going to be debonair missions that require one of 2 objectives. The first objective is a specific task such as collecting 25 takedowns. The second objective is to earn 750 points from time spent playing games. This means that you can either aim to rush through these missions or you can play like usual and eventually gain the rewards. For this, there are 10 debonair missions for you to complete. Next, there is a debonair wardrobe mission. To complete this mission, you have to play either 8 games featuring a debonair or Crime City Nightmare skin, or you'll be able to earn 2250 objective points from playing and winning games. In return, you'll be rewarded with 60 debonair tokens and an icon. This mission is a one-time completion. Finally, we've got the orb mission. This mission can only be completed once and requires 4,500 objective points. In return, you'll get 40 tokens and an orb. While the mission changes may not seem that important, it actually changes quite a bit. If Riot continues with this format for future events, we can expect a ton of improvement with the mission system. Overall, it seems like it'll make playing feel way more worthwhile and also let players gain more rewards without the pass. Before we continue on with the end of the video, if you want an amazing community of people like you that loves lists, talk pieces, and other things like this, check out our Discord using the link found in the description. So what are you waiting for? Join up! Nonetheless, let's get back into the video and take a look at our final few topics. Before we close out the video, to make sure that you're all informed for your next solo queue match, let's quickly do a patch rundown. A massive change is coming onto the Rift, with Predator finally receiving a well-deserved nerf. His max movement speed was dropped by 15% and his ramp-up time has been increased by 0.5. Okay, so it's not a massive nerf, but it'll definitely remove quite a few Predator abusers from the meta. Next up, we've got a readjustment to lethal tempo. Its strength on melee carries was unmatched, and thus it's having its attack speed per stack reduced by 2%, which leads to a total loss of 12% attack speed. For range carries, they're gaining an additional 2% attack speed per stack, but they're also having their bonus range cut by 25. Last but certainly not least, we've got a nerf to Camille. Many were expecting this, and it may be enough to finally knock her down a notch. Her W is having its damage reduced by 1% at all ranks, and its AD scaling has changed from 2.5% per 100 rather than 3.3%. Alongside this, her hookshot is having its cooldown increased by 2 seconds at max rank and a slight readjustment across the rest of the ranks. Overall, don't forget it's preseason summoners. Be sure to test things out and keep an eye out for any changes. The meta is extremely volatile and shouldn't fully stabilize till the season starts. It'll be interesting to see what other changes Riot will implement. And that sums up our video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to join our ProGuides family at ProGuides.com. We offer exclusive giveaways and classes that you won't catch anywhere else, so stay tuned and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys back in the next video, but until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. Peace.